Many of us have heard this statement before. We have been told over and over again that if we don't give a tenth of our income, we are robbing God, and that we will be cursed. Our businesses will fail, our health will deteriorate, and we will be locked out of God's blessings. Tithing have been preached as a key to financial breakthrough, divine favor, and abundant blessings, and that giving 10% guarantees wealth, security, and supernatural provision. But what if I told you that this is not the full truth? What if I told you that many churches today are manipulating believers with half-truths about tithing, and that there is a deeper truth that can free you from financial manipulation and make you comprehend the actual power of giving? Tithing is honoring God, stewardship, and faith, but people have carnally made it a tool of fear to fleece the church. The purpose of tithing is about trust and putting God first, knowing that all you have is because of God. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand, first, where tithing actually comes from. Second, why many churches don't want you to know the full story. Third, what the Bible really says about giving. And finally, how to give in a way that honors God without fear and manipulation. The concept of tithing originated in Genesis 14:18-20, when Abraham gave a one-time offering to Melchizedek. Later, in the law of Moses, Israelites were required to give 10% of their crop and livestock to support the Levites, who are the priests, because they had no land inheritance, according to Numbers 18:21, which states that God gives the Levites all the tithe in Israel as their inheritance, in return for the services they perform in the tabernacle, ensuring their sustenance through the people's offering. Here are more details of explanation. The Levites' role. The Levites, a tribe of Israel, were set apart for religious duties and services in the tabernacle, which was a portable sanctuary used for worship. Unlike the tribes and modern-day preachers who own other businesses or get paid some way somehow, the Levites never worked. All they do is wait before God all their lives. And so, God provided for the Levites through the tithes, which were the tenth of the produce and livestock of the Israelites. Divine provisions. Numbers 18:21 signifies that God divinely allocated the tithes to the Levites as their inheritance, ensuring they could focus on their spiritual responsibilities without the burden of agricultural labor. Now, tithing under the Old Covenant. Some of this tithe was for the poor and needy, as Deuteronomy 14:28-29 says. At the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thy increase the same year, and shall lay it up within the gates. And the Levite, because he has no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come, and shall eat, and be satisfied, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest. In this wise, you could also donate to orphanages, schools, the needy, the vulnerable, hospitals, homes, charities, and people on the street. Well, let me ask one question. Did Jesus command tithing in the New Testament? Jesus mentioned tithing in Matthew 23:23, but he was addressing Jewish leaders who were still under the law. Jesus rebukes the teachers of the law and Pharisees, calling them hypocrites for meticulously tithing spices like mint, dill, and cumin, while neglecting the more important aspect of the law: justice, mercy, and faithfulness. But we are not under the law. We are justified by faith. After Jesus' death and resurrection, the new covenant changed how believers were called to give generously and from the heart, according to 2 Corinthians 9:7, not by the law. Each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly, nor grudgingly, nor under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Shocking truth is, nowhere in the New Testament are Christians commanded to give 10% of their income, but rather they are encouraged to give generously and voluntarily with no specific percentages. Now to the modern day tithing controversies. Many churches still teaches tithing as a requirement, but here is what they don't tell you. Number one, the early church did not practice mandatory tithing. The early church in the book of Acts did not tithe. Instead, they shared resources voluntarily to help those in need. Acts chapter 2, verse 44 to 45. Number two, the shift to money-based tithing. In the 8th century, the Catholic Church made tithing mandatory to support church building and clergy. This practice was never reinstated by Jesus or his disciples. It was introduced by the church leaders for financial gain. Number three, how some churches manipulate tithing today. Many preachers use fear tactics to force people to give, saying things like, if you don't tithe, your finances will be cursed. Tithing opened windows of heaven, Malachi 3:10. But they ignore that this was for Israel, not the church. Reality check. God never said you have to pay 10% of your paycheck to be blessed. The dangers of tithing misuse. First, churches becoming businesses. Many churches pressure members into giving while pastors live lavish lifestyle, private jets, mansions, and designer clothing. For example, some pastors preach prosperity gospel, promising blessings for those who give, yet many of their followers remain poor, going to church from Monday to Sunday when they should choose only a day or two for church and work the rest of the days to become productive for themselves and their dependents. Second, where does your tithe actually go? Does your tithe go into helping the needy, or is it used to build mega churches, luxurious offices, and expensive cars? Third, the psychological and emotional manipulation. Many believers feel guilty for not giving 10%, even when they are struggling financially. This is not how God wants us to give. How should Christians give? Give freely, not under pressure. 2 Corinthians 9:7. God loves a cheerful giver. Give what you can, not because you are forced to, but because you want to help others. 2. Support the poor. not just the church building. The Bible encourages helping widows, orphans, and the needy. James 1:27. Your giving should empower others, not just fund church projects. 3. Time and talent are also offerings. Giving isn't about money alone. You can serve others, offer your skills, and help your community in different ways. Final thoughts and call to action. Tithing was never meant to be financial burden or a ticket to God's blessing. Remember these key takeaways. You are not cursed if you don't tithe. Giving should be out of love, not obligatory. Churches should be transparent about how they use donations. If this video challenged your understanding of tithing, let's discuss in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening biblical truth. Thank you.